I'm the application scientist here at Palintest, Hannah Blacknell, now looking at Kemio in some specific applications. Kemio Technology has some unique benefits that can be leveraged to remove pain points for customers in a number of different applications. Today, we're going to do a spotlight on 4 key applications: drinking and wastewater disinfection, maintaining clean wash water in food and beverage applications, and the use of Kemio in hospitals. So the first spotlight is drinking water and how Kemio can help the water utilities that manage municipal supplies. Much of the water testing is done on drinking water across the globe, and it's done on site to ensure that there is no contamination before it reaches our tap. A lot of this requires in-field measurement on the road, sometimes literally on the roadside, and sometimes in more picturesque locations. This is Derwent Reservoir in England. It's near Palintest. So the last thing you need when you're trying to do a test in the back of a van is a fiddly procedure that involves quick dilution calculations done on your knee. Here, Kemio can help. It offers a no-fuss 60-second method that involves just the sensor and the instrument, no need for any reagents. The results are easy to interpret and are saved automatically into the test log, so there's no need to keep track of any paper records. Next, a look at Kemio when measuring the disinfection of wastewater. Just like when testing drinking water, the ability to do the test wherever you are is key, and Kemio's no-nonsense method is useful here. Also, if you're conducting the test outside, the ambient light will change a lot through the seasons, and this can affect visual colorimetric methods significantly, but it doesn't affect Kemio at all. An additional thing to take into consideration is the nature of the water. Processed or wastewater generally has more contaminants than clean drinking water, for example. With colorimetric methods for measuring disinfectant levels, the indicators will react with chlorine, yes, but also with all other oxidants present in the sample. So the method is not specific for the target parameter chlorine, and you'll get falsely high readings. Kemio sensor technology is specific to chlorine, and the sensor method suffers from fewer interferences. For example, here in the UK, manganese is a problem in some wastewater disinfectant plants. This affects DPD measurement quite significantly, but Kemio sensors are unaffected by the presence of manganese and are able to return accurate and precise chlorine results in this situation. Wastewater is not often, shall we say, clear, sparkling water like that you get out of your tap. It often has a colour to it and can have floating particles or turbidity too. Kemio Technology is able to thrive in these conditions. Our third spotlight is on the food and beverage industry. Here we'll be looking at Kemio on food processing wash lines. Key in the food processing industry, such as in salad washing or poultry processing, is that there is no glassware near the production line. Glass in food is a serious violation, so often the water analysis must be done in a separate room. With Kemio, there's no need for this extra room for titration or colorimetric tests. The technology is glassware free. One of the common issues fresh produce washers come across is that their water is full of particles from the washing process, or that the water has a colour to it, for example, from washing carrots. This will have a significant effect on the results from a traditional test strip or photometric test. But Kemio is unaffected by these. Even in these conditions, Kemio can continue to return reliable and reproducible results. PAA and chlorine dioxide are disinfectants that are commonly used in the F&B industry, but perhaps less so in other industries. At Palintest, we have sensors that have been developed specifically for the food and beverage application. We have sensor variants that are designed for the temperature and concentrations that are used by these customers. Traditionally, PAA is dosed in as a blended mix with hydrogen peroxide, and the test kits that are used are tuned to that exact blend in order to get reliable results. As Kemio Technology is so specific for PAA, there is no interference from the peroxide, and so there's no issue switching between different blends. A bit of a different application now, Kemio in hospitals. When a patient is experiencing kidney failure, it is often necessary to use dialysis to support kidney function. The kidneys clean the blood of urea and other waste materials before it circulates back around the body. Dialysis is like an out-of-body version of this, using a machine to clean the blood before it's recirculated. When a patient is undergoing dialysis treatment to support their kidneys, it is vital that the quality of the water being used is very good. These patients are already unwell and are exposed to huge volumes of water compared to what we would normally get through eating and drinking. Because of this, it's important that the water needs to be of high quality. And this is all laid out in ISO 23500. The consent limits for most parameters are lower than for any other application, as these patients are already vulnerable. One of the key parameters is chlorine, and Kemio offers lower detection limits and higher accuracy and precision at these lower ends than the DPT, photometric or online methods. A few numbers for you. So the consent limit according to the ISO standard is 0.1 milligrams per litre of chlorine. And the limit of quantification, or LOQ, for DPD is typically quoted as approximately 0.07 milligrams per litre. The method detection limit, or MDL, for Kemio sensors is calculated for each sensor batch, but this will always be below 0.02. With patients as vulnerable as this, it's key that the results are reliable to ensure safe water, and the traceability of this data is vital to support hospitals. Ease of use is also an attractive part in an environment where they're trying to save lives. So in summary, Kemio has a number of unique advantages over photometric methods that are key improvements in some applications. All data is recorded and stored on the instrument memory test log, which can then be downloaded to a computer network. This is ideal for auditing and to reduce the amount of paperwork required for in-field measurements. Ideal for produce lines, Kemio requires no glassware to do the testing, and there's no requirement for chemical reagents either, so they can be used near the lines without any danger. Kemio sensor technology uses amperometry, which is electronic and so unaffected by surroundings, the color or turbidity of the water, or any floating particles. The method is hassle-free, easy to follow without any real training, and requires no input from the user to obtain results. And that brings us to the close of the show.